Check the line outside.
Every day before noon, hundreds line up outside CATALINA CRUZ's office in Corona. The Queens lawmaker has set up her own food pantry to help her neighborhood.
Señores, 6 pies de distancia, por favor. 6 feet apart, please.
The city's reopening, the country's reopening, but there's still this.
Yes, because what happens in our community is the majority of people didn't qualify for any of the financial help that's out there.
Corona is a densely packed community with immigrants working low-income jobs, mostly in transportation or healthcare, making them especially vulnerable to the virus, and leading to one of the highest infection rates and number of COVID-related deaths per capita in the country, where at the height of the COVID outbreak, nearby Elmhurst Hospital became the epicenter of the epicenter. Many here used to work in a vibrant cash economy, off the books, like this woman who's undocumented and now ineligible for government help.
The restaurant where I used to work is permanently closed now. My husband works in construction, but the way things are now, sometimes he gets 3 days out of work. If he's lucky, he'll get 4.
CRUZ knows her plight well.
My mom was a street vendor. My mom was a nanny. She cleaned people's homes.
CRUZ was just 9 when her mother brought her here from Colombia. She's now the first former Dreamer ever elected to state office in New York.
Where's your husband and the baby?
And now crying out for help for her community.
When you see this and what you've seen over the last few months, how does that make you feel?
It's gut-wrenching because there's only but so much I can do for folks.
You say your community is on the brink of survival.
Yes, because what we're going to start seeing is which are the businesses that can open back up. And I don't know what the answer to that is going to be because I still have businesses that are struggling. I still have folks who haven't opened at all.
New York's Department of Small Business Services tells NBC News CRUZ's borough of Queens got about 16% of the recovery loans issued by the city. Manhattan, the wealthiest area, got 57%, and the Bronx, the city's poorest area, received just 2%.
Bronx, for decades, has always been the last to get help.
Michael Blake, CRUZ's Bronx colleague, insists that's been especially true through the pandemic, with COVID testing, PPE, and emergency funds slow to arrive. He says deep systemic inequalities have made surviving COVID even more difficult.
Our kids were trying to figure out remote learning, but had 2 months before everyone had their actual tablets. You can't tell people to be socially distant in a house where there's 5, 6, 7 people in the home. How do you tell people to look up information online when there's not enough literacy and not enough actual internet?
Through it all, places like the MOTTHAVEN Bar and Grill, one of the area's oldest restaurants, does what it can to survive. Owner Rosa Garcia says she's hanging on by making meals for a nonprofit that serves New Yorkers in need.
Will your business survive?
If it wasn't because of the essential meals, no. If this stops, I don't think I can survive.
So without this, you're in deep trouble.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remain positive.
Thank you.
The restaurant's meals go to places like CRUZ's office food pantry, where here and at so many other places in New York's most vulnerable neighborhoods, lines still stretch around the block.
The minute we realized that this was coming, we should have looked at what are the most vulnerable populations and allocate resources and money to make sure that they could survive.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.